Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dragoonster. Here is the kind of painting side of the table. So the Winged Hussars, they had an outing last week on Sunday, and they got blown to smithereens, but I still won. Very much quite a distraction Carnifex, I think these guys are. They're probably the best cavalry and pike and shot. So they get shot a lot, but it means your other troops don't. And if they don't shoot them, they get charged by probably the best cavalry in the rulebook. So a few of the things I've been working on this week, you can notice mostly artillery. I've got 3 guns here. I have actually kind of taking a break from the Poles, mainly working on Swedes. So we've got Gustavus Adolphus. I got him as a birthday present. So he's been kind of stuck to his horse and sprayed. I don't mind him because he's kind of leaning back and the horse is leaning forward. I think the painting shouldn't be too bad. Then there's Lennart Tortensen, who is an artillery expert, who has the special rule of if he's in command of the army, all your artillery, or if he's just in charge of one division, battalion thing, brigade, whatever, they all of the artillery he commands, whether brigade or army, fire twice. So suddenly a lot more artillery is being put together. We've got Swedish leather gun, pike and shot light gun, and actually at the back here, a Russian piece. Now, this from the Napoleonics. Now, the reason why I'm starting to drift towards the Russians is because a few of my friends, we've got a Facebook group where we talk about mini games that we've got, and out of the 4 of us who are into black powder, one's got Britain and France, one's got Austrians, and I have Britain, clearly. I've got some French bits behind me, including some Poles, because of course I do. But I've also got some Russians. So the Poles are part of the French army, particularly the Imperial Guard aspect of it, like the Lancers, that Napoleon got to take 1 unit with him when he was exiled to St. Helena or St. Helena or whatever it is. And he chose a unit of his Imperial Guard Polish Lancers. So I think they're probably going to be a key force. And it means that I get to continue my theme of Polish kind of cavalry, or cavalry that are based in Poland. We'll get to that a little bit later. So I've decided to work on some Russians, partially because that means I can fight my friends Austrians, whereas the British didn't. Now, I could have done the French, but the other thing for this is this allows me to face my 2 friends who've got the French, and ally with my friend who's got the Austrians, and then we can do a multi-person battle. I think if I get my French done, I can definitely... We can do pretty much any 4-way split, I think. Maybe need to do some work on my British as well, but you know, let's do bits and pieces as we go. But I certainly wanted the artillery to go with Lennart Tortensen. Now, you may well be noticing a person with a very, very advanced gun for black powder. This is, I think, an American Marine from the Bolt Action Korea book, because I've got Bolt Action. I thought I'd get the Koreans as well, or the Korean rule book kind of supplement, because one of those friends has Britain and Germany, and another friend has got Britain and America. So I could actually just give this to him. No, not what am I talking? US and Germany. I don't know what I've said anymore. I'm getting confused. So I'm getting into it. I'm still umming and ahhing about which force to get into. I mean, I've bought a Polish cavalry section because, of course, I have, and so they'll get worked on. I'm umming and ahhing about exactly what to do. Part of me wants to do Finland, part of me wants to do Poles, and part of me wants to do late war Poles that are probably more kind of following the British rules, because I think they were mainly British equipped. So, yes, there is part of me that's just going, I've got Poles here, and I've got the Polish line lancers from Napoleonics, so let's just go all Poles all the time. So these guys are all ready now to be painted. And I'm going to have to think about Bolt Action and what I'm going to do with that. These guys are going to need their to be painted up. So this is going to be mostly brown because it's a leather gun, so that they're strapped in leather. Swedish, but I think they only used them in like 1 or 2 battles. It was mainly used in the English Civil War, which I do have some bits for as well, so that'll get done. Those guys will eventually get painted. Half a pike unit. Those guys I think are mainly going to be wearing green. I haven't really decided how I'm painting anyone else. I mean, he's got an official uniform as well. He's probably the only person here who's actually... Oh, no. He and the Russian artillery are the only guys that are actually have a dedicated uniform, whereas everyone else is just kind of like, what do we feel like wearing today? I had to actually continuing thinking about these guys. These guys needed to be glued a little bit because I took them. That's why they're here rather than still in the box, which is probably not great. Might be why they're a bit battered. Why this guy was a bit battered. But some of these guys came off the horses, and some of the horses came off the bases, like he did. My musician here. But they're all kind of glued again, which is good. I'm wondering if I should actually give these guys a wash, but I don't know. Angrex Earthshade wash, not a scrubby, cleany wash. So those guys have been sprayed, ready to be painted. Over here, we have half of a box of Fireforge Teutonic Knights. So the Teutonic Knights, they had land territory in what is now Poland, hence the Polish cavalry comment a little bit earlier. So they're half done. I glued them this morning, and it is freezing here in the UK at the moment. It's actually snowing. Is it snowing? Yes, it's snowing! It's sticking! Oh my goodness, I didn't realise it could do that. Oh, and the wind's blowing the snow. It's beautiful. I should probably actually be showing you, right, but I don't know. I'm so excited. Actual snow. Kind of. I had 2 options. I could either go into the garage and paint them, or not paint them, glue them in the garage and freeze, or I could glue them in the house, have the windows open, and freeze slightly less. So I went with the slightly less freezing option, but because of that, it was still really cold, so I only did half of them. Also, the horses are a bit kind of similar. We've got 2 guys with lances, 2 guys with swords, a musician and a standard bearer who looks like his arm is falling off. He was really problematic. Maybe it's just the way this is glued. Oh no, I think he looks a bit better like that actually. If I can, no, I think he's just a bit top heavy. He's going to be problematic to glue, I think. Okay, he's drunk. Okay. I don't know, probably too much vodka, if they had vodka. Potentially. But yes, these guys are based in Poland. I've got a Teutonic infantry box as well. Because I'm thinking, like, if I do, like, a Teutonic knight, a Teutonic force, then I can compete with my friend. So my friend's gone Saxons/Vikings. So he's the same friend with the Austrians and the... he's got some Warhammer Empire, which we've been doing pike and shot with predominantly, but he's got some Victrix Saxons, so I think that'll be a good... Or is it Warlord Saxons? He has some Saxons, so that gives us a decent force to compete with. But also, these guys fought the Poles, so I can use these as 2 armies. Certainly, if I use these again, but use them for Hail Caesar as well as pike and shot. I mean, that's the great thing with some of these units, is you can use them across time. Like these Cossacks, I might be able to just be like, ignore the guns, they're actually bows or whatever, or crossbows or whatever, and be cheeky with Hail Caesar. They're pike and shot, and then I can use them as Russian Cossacks, which I think you get your first unit free. So I've already got 1 cavalry unit for a Russian army, and I'm building an artillery. So Napoleonics we're doing quite well with, kind of. So that's the kind of thing, like I could use these in Hail Caesar. I can use these guys as Teutons, I can use them as any knights, I can use them as Crusaders. So there's a lot of flexibility in doing a unit of Teutonic Knights. These guys are not stuck on at the moment, I've just put them on just so I can show you what they're like. He's the guy I don't like. This model, it's the head. I really don't like the head, and I don't know why it's ended up like this. But he's very much leaning forward, which I mean kind of fits. But I don't know. The helmet just looks strange. Maybe he looks better on the horse. I mean, he doesn't look too bad on the horse. They do look like they are leaning forward. Oh dear. I'm just gonna back away from that one. So yes, they're gonna have to be sprayed. I am gonna spray those with the white, because they're Teutonic Knights, so basically white with black crosses every so often, and that's kind of it. So they're kind of I don't know, they're kind of Black Templar-ish, white with a black, well, the Black Templar symbol. Although I think that's more Knights Hospitaller is the kind of their idea, or what they're based on. So yes, they're painted, they're sprayed, they're going to be painted. They are going to be. I'm going to glue all the rest of the knights and then spray all of them white. Normally, people say that. Like, I always remember that. Like, metallic paints work better on black, but I can't remember where I read what the argument for that is and why white doesn't work. So I might just try metal on white, just for my own kind of desire to know. And then, yeah, I've got these guys. I can use them. I could be cheeky and use them as winged hussars for pike and shot, or just lancers if I use a slightly earlier period. I think these guys in pike and shot are like the last kind of heavy lancers you can get, the winged hussars. Because there isn't really a unit like that going onwards. Like, Napoleonics don't have them, obviously. Bolt action, which is World War II, doesn't have them, but I can use a few of these guys, and I think that's one of the kind of strengths, certainly in pike and shot, and not having uniform, is different. You can use multiple armies for the same thing. I've been using British and my British Line infantry as Polish and Swedish musketeers, so. Because I don't think they really had a uniform, and also kind of were quite happy just to proxy at the moment, which is quite good. The only problem is all three games are based on very similar system, very similar basing, but that doesn't carry over into bolt action. The rules are very different, and I've been wondering if you can combine Hail Caesar, pike and shot, and black powder, and have Napoleonic British versus 30 Years' War Swedes, or whatever. But I think that'd be probably quite insane. But I can't see any reason why that wouldn't work. I've also been having a few different ideas about how you could do kind of campaigns or a series of battles. And I know we were kind of like it's like when I was originally just doing black powder and doing British and French, we were going to have like loads of battles, and Friedrich von Ottendorf and Bill Fawkes there, along with I think Duncan Munro and John Wellard over here. They were going to be kind of major stars taking on whoever the French were, but with the kind of jumping around from period to period, I don't think we're going to have a load of series like that. We might actually fight some Austrians at some point once that gets resolved, but I think that's going to actually require me to finish painting the Hanoverians here, or certainly getting them painted would help. But yes, paint, finish assembling and spray, find somewhere to put. Yes, and I don't know what else I want to do, because that's the thing, it depends what game I'm doing next. So I knew I wanted to get these guys done for pike and shot with my friend, and so actually we might try out some artillery with Lennart Tortensen. That might happen at some point. I'm not entirely sure about kind of recording those games with my friend. It's up to him. I should probably ask and just check what he thinks, but we will work things out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.